And a good Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Hope you're having a great day so far. He is Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. Back at the studio. We are live today. It's Scoreboard over here by Opryland, and very excited to be here for an event that involves former Duke Athletics Director Kevin White. And he's going to join us 1 to 1:30 today.
It'll be fun. Also, he's former Notre Dame athletic director, and it's been 20 years since the Bush push, and he was the AD at Notre Dame when that happened. He's got a great story of where he was when that play happened at Notre Dame Stadium 20 years ago. My goodness! So he'll join us at 1 o'clock. And fascinating man. His son is the athletics director at Tennessee.
Danny White.
His other son is the head basketball coach at Georgia.
Mike White.
He's got another son that's an AD somewhere.
Yeah.
So they're the first family of athletic directors, and Danny White's done a heck of a job in Knoxville getting that program back up and going. So we'll talk to his dad at 1 o'clock. It'll be fun.
Well, and I always like talking to, coaches and athletic directors that are retired and kind of getting their thoughts on the current state of college athletics because, it's changed a whole lot since he, stepped away.
Yeah. And Chris Massaro is a good friend of ours, and athletic director at MTSU, and we talk often about the job now. I think of an AD. I mean, you're half fundraise. I mean, you got to hire good coaches. I get that, but also you got to fundraise. I mean, it's more than just being an athletic director. So it'll be fun to talk to Mr. White here at 1 o'clock from Scoreboard Bar and Grill out here in Music Valley Drive.
And we'll also be joined by Filip Forsberg. He'll join the show coming up at 12:30 today, and then in the 2 o'clock hour, it's interesting. The head coach, who is Mike McCoy now, the interim head coach, he's going to talk after practice instead of before practice. So he's already done something that I praise and like better than Brian Callahan.
Well, I never understood why talk before practice. I was like, why? We want to talk to you after practice.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. But, what do we know?
We know quite a bit, pal. We know quite a bit. So I guess the media spoke with Vrabel today, the national media.
They did. And Kuharski's had some good quotes from him, others as well. But Vrabel said he texted Brian Callahan condolences earlier this week, tries to reach out to guys. Kuharski said, asked Mike Vrabel if he has any significant memento from his time with the Titans in his office or at home. He pointed to a picture of he and his son Carter in his office, but said he doesn't even know where his Super Bowl rings are. He isn't a jersey guy. He said, quote, Goodwill's probably got a pretty good haul down on 8th Avenue.
Right, mad rush of people to Goodwill to get a Super Bowl ring. He knows exactly where his 3 rings are.
Do you keep stuff from your ex?
Super Bowl rings.
Well, Super Bowl rings, yes. But like Titans polos, or I'd probably keep one, but or I'd ask if I had kids, like in his case, like, hey, do you guys want any of this stuff? Like, I mean, there's some things like if I'm him being, just him, frame one of the vests, it's like, put it up there with his jerseys or something, but like, I get it. You don't,
Well, when Coach Wells left Kentucky to go to Eastern Kentucky, he gave me all of his Kentucky stuff.
Yeah.
When he left Tennessee to go to Kentucky,
he gave you all the Tennessee stuff.
I had boxes and boxes of Tennessee stuff and handed all those out. So I understand that. Yeah, I mean, but he's home. I mean, Vrabel's home now. And so I'm really excited for this game on Sunday because now I want the Titans to kick his ass. With Callahan, I was unsure. Now I want Mike McCoy and the Titans to kick Vrabel's butt. That's what I want on Sunday.
As my father used to say, the people in hell want ice water. They ain't going to get it.
Right? You don't think they got a chance. Did you see what one of the Raiders coaches said about him? He said his 20 years in the league, that's the worst football team they've ever played.
Yeah, I did see that.
But we got to rally around Mike McCoy.
No, we don't.
Got to rally. You don't want them to win Sunday? I do.
No. I hope Vrabel comes in here and beats the ever-loving you-know-what.
Oh, my God. What happened to you?
Look, I'm here. No, here's the deal. And this is the fan talking. I've had some fun exchanges on Twitter because of my Amy Adams Strunk B&A tweet. And there's some of you out there that you're two-tone till you die, and the organization could do no wrong, and praise Amy and all that stuff. And you know what? Good on you. You have every right to feel that way. Me as a fan, which is the reason that I do what I do, it's the reason I got into this business, because I'm a fan. I think this is the most poorly run organization in the National Football League. I don't think they know what the hell they're doing.
They don't.
I think that she once again stepped in, and they can sit there and BS, and y'all can be like, well, they told us at the press conference that they all got together and it was a collaboration, and Chad Brinker, he's running the show. No, he's not. Chad Brinker is a nice guy, but he's an empty suit, just like the rest of them over there, that when she says get rid of somebody, they do it.
All right, here's our question of the day then. Are you Team Chase? And you want Vrabel to come in here and curb stomp the franchise? Or are you Team Joe? Do you want the Titans to say, hey, Vrabel, not today, pal? That's what I want. I am disappointed in my co-host. I thought he would go all the way, but I get it. It makes for good radio. I get it. But look, we've both been bad critics of this team. I don't know. This Sunday, I'd like to see them win the game. I'd like to see them go out there and beat Vrabel. Team Joe or Team Chase? That's simple.
Okay. All right. Look, that's our question of the day.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm done right now. I need change. I need them to fix this and get this right, and I have zero faith that they're going to do that.
But you can't do that this Sunday.
No, I know, but I can be pissed off and just like watch it. Because like, here's the thing: the right move was to fire Brian Callahan.
Yeah,
but they fumbled that. They did it and then didn't have a plan and took 7 hours to do a damn press conference. And then they get up there and they get asked questions, and you got the general manager, who I actually do think knows what he's doing, looking over at the president of football operations like, am I allowed to talk? Am I good? No, you got okay.
All right, few things. It's their timeline, not ours. All right.
What is this all of a sudden you defending them?
I am. They made the right decision doing that. I'm telling you. If they think they got a plan in place, what they want to do is fine.
That's the problem, Joe. They don't have a plan in place.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Because I've watched it.
It's all new.
I have watched this for the last 2.5 years.
It's all new.
They fired a GM. New. They fired a coach. They hired a GM. They fired a GM. New. They hired a coach. Fired a coach.
It's all brand new. It's all brand new. This week is brand new. New head coach. New everything. Daddy Callahan's gone. Right? I need you to come to this side a little bit. All right?
No.
I need you to common ground here.
No.
I'm not having it with you today.
No.
Team Joe or Team Chase?
We're going to open the show Monday, and I'm going to be sitting here going, welcome in, good Monday, Reaction Monday. The Patriots beat the Titans 57-3. What do you think? 615-737-1025.
If the Titans win on Sunday, you're doing the show Monday in a Speedo.
I might not even show up Monday.
No, we'll
How about
that? Dr. Crane's got a bunch of people that'll be able to find you. And we'll take you down.
All right. Where do you think the text line's going right now?
Team JoJo.
All right. Well, let's see.
Right. Come on. We got one Sunday. We got to support them.
Dustin in Hopkinsville, if this would load. Just a moment. I'll read all these. I can see the preview, but I can't actually bring up the text right now. It says, I want more than anything Vrabel, and then I don't know what else it says. Chip from Mount Juliet, 100% Chase. Wes in Clarksville, Team Chase. 0247, Team Chase.
Come on now. Don't you want to see Vrabel? Vrabel's going to come in here so cocky on Sunday, like he knows everything. Let's punch him in the face, man. Send the Patriots back home. Be a great win for the Titans. Go out and have fun.
According to Kuharski, they're not going to do any type of tribute to him either.
Fine.
I don't care. I don't care.
You're coming to beat me. I'm not going to let it happen.
That's whatever. Well, I'll let you know what the text line says in a few minutes.
Okay.
I think we're having some internet issues over here. But yeah, we can be on different sides here. That's fine.
I think Team Joe is where it is.
I think you're just being a contrarian.
Nope. No, I'd like to see him win. I'd like to see the Titans win on Sunday. Callahan's gone. The Raiders coach, it's the worst team he's ever seen. It'd be great.
Yeah.
What a great story on Sunday afternoon with Mike McCoy coming in and everybody happy.
I will say one place that we do agree. I am leaning more towards Arthur Smith being the guy because of what I said yesterday. He knows the BS. He's the safe play. Now he's got to get the staff right, because if you look at the staff he had his last year in Atlanta, Jerry Gray running the defense, Dave Ragone running the offense. No, that ain't going to work.
Right.
If Dave Ragone wants to come coach wide receivers, all right, we can talk about that.
Right.
But no, I'm there. I think if Cleveland blows it up, which I think they're going to do, you call Jim Schwartz and see if he wants to come run the defense. And again, those are two familiar people to Amy Adams Strunk that maybe, just maybe, she'll trust and stay out of the way.
Maybe. I mean, that's the thing, is that you get somebody that knows the dysfunction of the franchise and you're fine. That goes a long, long way. Art Smith knows it. Jim Schwartz knows it. Some new guy's not going to know it. Callahan had no idea about it. And that's where it was, man.
There's another name that hasn't come up yet, and at least I haven't heard it, and I'm a little surprised because I wouldn't rule it out. And I'll tell you who that is coming up next. Plus, we'll take your phone calls and maybe your text, 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We're live at Scoreboard today. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Wednesday. Hope you're having a great day to this point. As we're at Scoreboard here over by Opryland. Kevin White, former college AD at Notre Dame at Duke. He'll join us coming up at 1 o'clock. Here in a few minutes, Filip Forsberg will join the program. Predators fell 7-4 last night in Toronto, their first regulation loss. But our question of the day, which, of course, all our questions of the day are brought to you by Aries Tactical. Check them out at ariestactical.com. But our question of the day is, are you team me, which you want Vrabel to come in here and beat the ever-loving daylights out of the Titans, or are you team Joe, where you want to rally around Mike McCoy and the two-tone blue?
Can you read the text line?
I'm trying.
Chip from Mount Juliet says, not a fan of Vrabel, but hope he comes and embarrasses Amy. Dustin Hopkins.
What does that say under that? That says 100% Chase.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
So you can read it.
I got it now.
Humble brag.
Let's see. I am neither Team Chase nor Team Joe. I am Team Baba Booey. I don't know what that means.
Got ya!
Thanks.
Oh, no! Oh, no, you fell for it.
Was that you?
No, it's Howard Stern guy.
Oh, okay.
Baba Booey. No, No, is that you?
7410. I want the Pats to win big Sunday because Amy deserves to be embarrassed. She's been absolutely ducking the fans and her responsibility for the mess we're in. When the Titans ever start winning again, she has no right to start showing her face.
Oh, man.
9472. Team Joe all day. Amy made the right move and got Callahan out of here. It's a new slate and only up from here. To hell with Vrabel and the Patriots.
Yeah. I mean, I get your vote for you're voting for Vrabel. I understand that. And Chase, because they're big buddies. But at the same time, I mean,
he wouldn't know me if he saw me in a lineup.
That's right. But no, I mean, that's the thing is I'd like to see this team. Look, it's not the players' fault, right? It's not Jeffrey Simmons' fault. It's not Shy Tuttle's fault. I mean, it's not these guys' fault, right? That the front office
Shy Tuttle? You went to Shy Tuttle?
Is that his name?
Yeah. But like of all the names.
Naming guys on the team. Hell, they all get cut every week or hurt, but it's not their fault that the front office is so discombobulated that they're trying to figure things out. Just support them on Sunday. See what happens. I mean, I'd love for Vrabel to leave that field with egg on his face on Sunday after the Titans beat him when nobody is giving this football team a chance against Daddy on Sunday.
9540. Bleep Amy and hope the Patriots kick the Titans' ass.
I'm losing this battle. I need more Team Joe.
0178. Let's go, Joe. Ethan from Portland, Team Joe.
Thank you.
Wes in Clarksville, Team Chase. To me, this year is over. Does him no good to win Sunday. 9306. Team Chase. Vrabel needs to whip this team. Evan, 100% Team Chase. I hope the Patriots come in and wipe the floor with the Titans and embarrass Amy. Josh and Donaldson.
Come on, Josh.
Says, y'all in Donaldson today? Team Joe, tighten up for the real McCoy drinks on Chase.
Yeah, come at the scoreboard, Josh, and say hi. We're here till 3 today. Come on and say hi to us.
All right, let's go to the phones. Dustin is on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHoney.com. What's up?
What's up, guys? Hey, Joe, I love you, buddy. I really do. Everything you stand for, mental health, everything like that. But today, it is not about them players. And the texter, my goodness, hearing something here. The texter that said she got rid of Brian Callahan, you do realize she hired the people that hired Brian Callahan. It's like this every dang year. I want Vrabel to come in here and curb stomp this team because of Amy. And this is what I wrote through text that you couldn't get earlier. I said, I want more than anything Vrabel to whack that bottom Sunday.
But do you agree? Listen.
I want Cam Moore to develop into Mahomes. She's a terrible owner. Even when it gets better, she implodes it. It's a reoccurring cycle. The Super Bowl we were in was under her dad. She got lucky with Vrabel, and then she tinkled it away.
Right, but
don't
you agree it's not the players' fault that the front office is terrible? It's not
personal with Amy. She's got to go.
I know that. She's not going anywhere. Let's get that out there. But I don't blame the players for this. I don't blame the
are mad.
players.
Thanks, Dustin.
The
Thanks,
players
Dustin.
are mad.
No, the players
He faded out.
the players are mad. Appreciate your call. That means hang up.
Yeah.
All right. The players were probably mad too, but like, the fan base, they want to see it. It's not the players' fault, but they want to see her fail now. She has put them in a place where it's not enjoyable to watch this team anymore, and they want to see her embarrassed.
Let me ask you a question. What did you take away from the locker room Sunday in Las Vegas? When we went back in there, when we left the locker after everybody talked, what did you take away from all that?
A couple of things. That is a team that is just defeated.
Yep.
I mean, there was no energy, and Jeffrey Simmons has become more of a leader than I really knew. Like, he really stood out as a guy that, he hasn't given up, but I mean, you can just see what more do I have to do?
They looked rudderless, right? They just looked despondent, like somebody come save us. That's what I took away from that. And now Tim Hasselbeck said yesterday that, to motivate and inspire a team, the players got to step up to the plate. I get all that. But they looked uninspired, like we need help. And that's what I took away. And that was before Callahan got fired on Monday. I was like, I've never seen a professional sports team, this despondent ever. I mean, you couldn't tell if they won, lost, or they're going to the beach. I couldn't tell. And now I think they got a little umph. I think there were some bad things going on over there. I think McCoy alluded to a little of that.
Yeah.
So, and I just think it'll be a different atmosphere, a different feeling this week for this football team. That's why I'm
I hope, being serious, I hope you're right. I mean, I hope there's an inspiration and what have you. I just don't think they're going to be. I mean, I think the players see as much as we do of that there's a rudderless ship, and all the national people that never give two craps about the Titans are all saying the same thing. It seems like they got some problems in the front office and ownership that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think the players feel when they hear that?
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, now kudos. We don't know. And I feel like if it had happened, we would have known by now. I don't think Jeffrey Simmons has walked in there and be like, hey, get me out of here. Or other players have done that. Kudos to them for not doing that. But if they did, I wouldn't blame them.
Would you be surprised if Simmons is traded to the Patriots on Monday?
No, not at all.
Something about get through this game.
This is week 8?
7.
Okay. So the deadline's in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, no, I wouldn't be. Real quick, Wes wants to weigh in on our question of the day. Wes, what's up?
I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. Look, man, before today, I was Team Chase all the way. After the firing of Brian Callahan, I do think it's going to spark something. And, whenever an interim head coach comes in, it does kind of add a little bit of fuel to the team. But you combine that, and just hear me out, you combine that with the old-fashioned Vrabel way, and he just came off of what we used to refer to as a Vrabel special in beating the Buffalo Bills on a big game in primetime. So that he's now due to turn around and lose to a team that he should clobber. And if I remember correctly, this Raiders team just beat the Patriots, and they're not very good either. So, I mean, I put a bet. I had to, man. I went all in. I'm thinking the Titans win this game by 4 or 5 points, and I have absolutely no idea how they do it. My question to y'all is, I keep hearing Arthur Smith's name come around, and I think Arthur Smith did a great job when he was here, and I think Arthur Smith would do a great job if he came back. And everybody keeps saying, hey, well, he knows Amy. He can do this. He knows how to work with Amy. He knows how everything happens in this organization. But my question is, this team knows all of that. Wouldn't that be more of a reason for him to stay away? Like, why would he want to come back to this?
Head coach, baby. Head coach.
Thanks, Wes. Appreciate the call.
Wes.
I look, I mean, it's fair to ask that. By the way, the other name I was going to throw out there, don't be surprised if at least it comes up. Eddie George.
Oh God, no.
Don't be surprised.
Oh no, he's not ready.
He's not ready. No.
No.
No. And look, I think he's doing a good job in Bowling Green.
Why
But again, this is what I keep telling people. You can't think sensible. You have to think like she does. And she wants to hire people she knows.
they'll talk her out of that. No,
I hope so. I mean,
He's
nothing
not.
against Eddie, but I mean, I just he's not ready for that.
I mean, success at TSU for 2 years, and
Not-
you're doing
you know.
okay at Bowling Green, does not mean you're qualified to be an NFL coach.
If you're bringing, I mean, and he would need a lot of counseling to in more ways than one, probably. but
Damn right he would.
but-
Oh, my
not what I
God.
meant, but he would need a lot somebody to mentor him and help him.
I just go back to Antonio Pierce. I mean, that
Yeah,
was a disaster. Art Smith knows the system. He wants to be a head coach again. He knows the franchise. He knows everything that goes in that building. He was part of it for a long time. And then what did McClain say yesterday about Art Smith that really stuck out? He was under Munchak, Wisenhunt, Malarkey, and Vrabel. Nobody wanted all these different head coaches kept him.
Yep. No,
And then-
that's true.
Yeah, and I get all that, but we'll see what happens. But this win on Sunday, let's get it done.
Scott wants to weigh in. Scott, what you got?
I just wanted to talk to Big Joe about not blaming the players. I mean, we blamed everybody else, but on Sunday, they come to play, or they should. And I understand not having the confidence in the coach and all that, but I mean, you get paid millions of dollars to catch the ball, you go catch the ball. You get paid millions of dollars to run the ball, you run the ball. That's why they're there. They are professionals. Somebody from Houston said they knew the Titans didn't come to play the minute they stepped out of the tunnel. That's on the players. That's on the leadership on the field, not necessarily the coaches, but the team. They've got to get themselves fired up and go out there and earn their money no matter who's coaching on Sunday. And I'm Team Chase.
Thank you.
Hang up on this fool. Scott, thank you, man. I get it, but you need a leader. You need somebody to kick him in the butt and go and get done. Half these guys aren't going to inspire themselves. They need somebody to look them in the face and get it going. Let's go. And maybe they'll get that this weekend. But I'm not blaming the football team for the inadequacies of the front office. I'm not doing that. Maybe somebody needs to come in and kick them in the ass and get them fired up. And I think it's this Sunday it's going to happen. I really do.
Look, if Mike McCoy wins on Sunday, you might as well get ready for him to be the coach because she'll be like, well, he beat Vrabel, so hire him.
He did beat Vrabel.
Yeah. I mean, look, just if that's what you want, go ahead.
I don't want it. I just want them to win on Sunday. I just want them to beat Vrabel on Sunday. That would ruin his world because they're already crowning him to be the next Vince Lombardi, man.
6727, leave Arthur Smith out of your conversation. He's in Pittsburgh, and that's where we want him.
Steelers.
Are you a Steelers fan?
Must be.
Must be. Coming up next, Filip Forsberg, Predators forward, going to join us on the program. Looking forward to that next. Chasing Big Joe live at Scoreboard 102.5 The Game.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Wednesday, and we continue, as always, with a Predators player, and who else but number 9, Filip Forsberg, who is on the line with us. Phil, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic. I know, first regulation loss last night, but I feel like you guys played well enough to win that game. In fact, I feel that way about the first 4 games. How about you?
Yeah, there's certainly things we're doing that are really good, I think, and last night was no exception to that. It's just a couple breakdowns defensively, a couple unfortunate bounces, off our own end, so to speak, and but overall, I do think it was good, not great, and yeah, Toronto is obviously a team that you need to be a little better than just good enough, So definitely a good start, but certainly things we can work on as well.
I asked Hal Gill this when we talked in the second intermission, but he coined it as you were in one. I mean, it was a test. It was a battle. Do you as a player like that, especially early in the season, to see how you guys handle being tested?
Yeah, no, I think that's always good. I think you need those challenges, and obviously playing a back-to-back. They had a back-to-back too, I guess, but at least playing, like a really good team with the Leafs and in their building early in the season is a great test, like you said. And I don't think we failed it, but we also didn't pass it. So we're kind of somewhere, I guess, caught in the middle of it. But yeah, definitely a great experience for a young group so far.
You're only 4 games into this thing, but I know the power play continues to be something that you guys are working on. What are you seeing when you're out there that shows you, okay, we're right there at it, we just need a little bit of a tweak, and we're going to put one in the back of the net?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Ottawa game was the worst power play game we've had, but the game before that was against Utah. It was great. Thought we created a ton of chances, and last night we only had, I think, 1 or 2 opportunities and had a couple good looks, and yeah, it's getting there. I think it's definitely something we need to improve on quickly, because we are, we're getting chances, we're getting looks, but we put a couple in the back of the net, we can put teams away, especially that Ottawa game when we had a ton of opportunities, and even Utah in the second period, that would have been nice to get 1 or 2 on the power play and kind of put them away as well. So it's, as you said, a work in progress.
Filip Forsberg is with us on the Chasing Big Joe show. Andrew Brunette said he really likes the communication, the vibe that you guys have through the first handful of games. Does it feel like that's been really good on your end from the player side? Yeah,
I think so. I think honestly, it's never been an issue in my 13 years here with this team, and it's. But I do like this group a lot. I think it's a great mix of veterans and younger guys, and experience and people that are here for the first time, obviously, like Brady, and yeah, I think it's a kind of a perfect combination if you can ask for that. So I'm excited to keep growing that and keep growing it on the ice, off the ice. Obviously, this road trip is the first time to be, just us together for a week. So I think it's been fun so far, and obviously today will be a good day off, and everybody can get to know each other even better and get to regroup, and it'll go back to work tomorrow.
A guy that's been a lot of fun to watch has been Erik Haula, who made his return to the organization after playing a season, the COVID-shortened season, which I know was kind of weird. Now he's back. Andrew Brunette has commented on that line of, and I guess they've been dubbed the loud line because they're always talking to each other or the opponent. But what has Erik in particular brought back to this lineup?
No, like I said, I'm really obviously very excited we were having him back too. I thought he was great for us, but it was a very short stint here with us, like you said, during the half season there a couple of years ago. But I think he just brings, intensity, professionalism. He plays the game really hard, and been doing it for a long time. He's got a ton of experience in this league, and he's relied upon in all the key situations. And I think he's lived up to that. And I think that nickname for that loud line is pretty spot on. I'm not going to lie.
Filip Forsberg is with us. Brady Martin, he sat out the last couple games, but he's played the first few. He's played alongside you. You obviously remember what it was like as an 18, 19-year-old coming into this league and probably, bright-eyed and how crazy it was. How do you feel like he's adapted to this point? Because from my perspective, he doesn't feel like an 18-year-old the way he conducts himself.
No, not at all. I think, like you said, there's a moment here and there when you see that he's 18, but it's all off the ice. On the ice, I think he looks like he's been around for a long time, and like I said, for the most part, even off the ice, he's just very mature and very a well-raised kid. His family did a great job with him out on that farm, and he's certainly got a very, very bright future ahead of him.
Do you, because and I know other guys have too, but since you're playing alongside him, like, do you pull him aside before his first game and say, hey, this is what you can expect? Or do you want him to just kind of take that naturally? And if he comes to you and says, hey, Phil, I mean, what did you go through? Then do you give advice?
A little bit of both. Like before the first game, I was all about just letting him enjoy it, honestly, because the first game is not necessarily about hockey. It is obviously because you guys know how important the games are, but when you play your first game, it's about your family. It's about your journey there. It's a celebration of great, how great you've done, at the end of the day. There's so much going on. I think you had 30 something people in the stands, and family and the friends and everything. And that's what it's all about. But after that, then it kicks in, for real in a way. And so I think that first game, I thought it was great. And then the second game, obviously, was huge for him to get his first point. And yeah, no better way than for him to give it to me, I guess. So that was perfect.
Talking with Filip Forsberg here on the Chasing Big Joe show. UC Saros has been absolutely fantastic through his first 3 games. And one thing that Barry Trotz said on our station yesterday was the play in front of him, that the defense is really doing a good job there, but Juice has just been locked in. I know that has to make you all feel really good to be able to back him up, but also watch him do his thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, certainly been a couple tweaks that has been, driven a little bit by him too, just in the way that he's playing and tweaks of our defense. And I think those have paid off really well so far. He's seeing a ton of pucks. When he sees it, he's going to stop it. That's how good he is. And obviously the RD and our centers and people that are usually around the net a little bit more than us wingers are doing a great job cleaning up. And us wingers are trying to block shots a little bit more than we might have done in the past. And I think so far it's been great. And obviously there's still has been breakdowns that Juice to bail us out from, and he's been there. So I've loved every second of watching him play so far.
Now, I can't have you on the show and not get a Felix update, because we all enjoyed the suits, the matching suits that you had on the Gold Walk. Was that your idea? Was that Aaron's idea? Was that kind of a collaboration? How'd that come about?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. I think it was. We have a friend that makes custom clothing suits and all kinds of stuff, and so he was brought on probably a little later than we should have on the process, but he pulled that off in I think a week or so from scratch. So that was very impressive to do that for both of us, and very thankful for that. But originally the idea was just kind of, I guess, the 3 of us, me and Aaron and Mitch, as his name is, and kind of spitballing things. And he had a couple great ideas on tracksuits, and I loved it. And it turned out really well.
It was cool. How much fun have you had watching the world through his eyes at such a young age?
Oh, it's been the best. I mean, it's been, almost a year and a half now of just, like I said, constant refreshments and and kind of, like I said, reliving moments through his eyes. It's been really cool. And can't wait to continue to do that.
Has he been on skates yet?
No, he's been on the ice, obviously, with me holding him a couple times, but we're looking at a Christmas party probably for the first time. We'll see how that's going to go. But he's definitely into hockey, so I'm sure he'll be into that as well.
Very, very nice. Phil, thanks so much for doing this today. Good luck Thursday against Montreal, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
That's Filip Forsberg joining us here on the program. And again, every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, or in the 1 o'clock hour, we will be joined by a prominent Preds player, just like Filip Forsberg. We'll have more coming up next from Scoreboard Bar and Grill here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
Jason Big Joe.
Got fans out here today.
1025 the game. It's funny. I was looking at my computer and then here you go, hell yeah. And I look up and I'm like, what's going on?
Stop by to say hi to us out here at Scoreboard on Music Valley Drive today. So
Yes.
coming up at 1, former athletic director Kevin White's going to join us. His son's the AD at Tennessee. He had a nice career of an AD at Arizona State, Notre Dame, and Duke. We'll get some good. You've got a new book out. A lot of insights.
We just keep adding schools. Like, you know, it starts with Duke and then Notre Dame and then Arizona State.
Yeah, he was there with when Jake Plummer was there, when they beat Vrabel in the Rose Bowl. All that good stuff. It always comes back to Vrabel.
It always does. Again, out here. By the way, the Titans have designated Tavondre Sweat to return from IR. So could potentially have him available on Sunday if he's ready to go. Keep an eye on that. But appreciate Filip Forsberg for joining us in the last segment as they fall 7-4 last night to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we'll take on the Montreal Canadiens coming up on Thursday. Pregame at 5, the puck drop at 6 o'clock here on 102.5 The Game. But Phil, you know, having a good start to the season, and you know, even though the Predators fell last night, I mean, I still like how they're playing. Obviously, got to fix the power play.
Well, I think last night I actually watched the game, Chase. They didn't quit. I mean, I know they were down. They kept coming back. How many empty netters did Toronto score? 2?
Yes.
2 last night. So, I mean, it's not like they were blown out of the building. They played tough. And I thought they kept coming back.
They kept battling back. And you had Perbix score his first goal as a Predator. And Ozzy Weisblatt was in there for a couple of points, which was good. And you know, I thought they played well enough to be in the mix to win. But they just unfortunately couldn't get it done.
Yeah. And look, I don't know the stats of playing back-to-back. It's tough to win both of them. So, you know, they got the win in Ottawa on Monday, and they lost last night. Or is it last night, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah, last night.
Yeah. It wasn't back-to-back.
It was back-to-back.
Was it?
Yeah, Monday and then Tuesday. Monday is
today's
Wednesday. First day of the week. Tuesday is the second day of the week.
Yes, so it was a back-to-back.
Wednesday is the third day of the week, which is today.
Which is today. That's why we're at Scoreboard.
Unless you consider Sunday the first day of the week, and then
Don't
you
do
just
that.
shift everything
Nope.
down.
Do not do that. So, no, look, they fought hard, and then they play in Montreal tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Montreal.
Get that? So, look, they've got 5 points. This time last year, you know how many points they had?
0.0.
So just keep fighting. I don't mind this. They got Montreal Thursday and then Winnipeg Saturday.
Correct. And then back here for a 5-game homestand starting Tuesday with Anaheim.
Okay.
Which will be interesting because that's the first matchup with the Ducks and Joel Quenneville since he has returned and taken that job as the head coach of the Ducks. Of course, Andrew Brunette replaced him in Florida as the interim coach when everything went down and Quenneville resigned. So that'll be a interesting little matchup.
It's all connected, man.
Yep.
They're all connected somehow. I don't know. I like the way they fought last night and played.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew Brunette's talked about it. Barry Trotz talked about it yesterday when he was on with DVD of just I thought he had the best line, you know, the Barry Trotz, that is, talking about the defense and playing better in front of Saros especially. He's like, Ken Dryden could have been in net and he wouldn't have had a chance. And he's one of the best, you know.
Right.
And it's like they have just improved so much in that area. There's still work. I mean, the power play, not going to panic too much yet. I mean, Phil just talked about that. They're seeing the looks. They just got to bury them. But, you know, I think if this team, the fact that there's a buy-in, it just feels better. Everybody just feels like they're in the right place. The vibe is just completely different. Then they'll be fine.
Success to winning in any league, 50% on the road and about 70 to 75% at home. They split this road trip 2-2. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can get one at Montreal tomorrow, that would be great. And or the one at Winnipeg on Saturday, they come back and get points, and you come back. You split a pretty early season tough road trip. And you're good to go, man.
Yeah. I mean, and they're playing in some tough barns to play in, you know, Toronto and Montreal and Winnipeg. I mean, Winnipeg is, I tell people this, it's one of the coolest places I've ever been to atmosphere-wise in the playoffs because it's such a small rink that the noise just carries, and like you talk about because number one, there's nothing to do in Winnipeg, like nothing, and so they're all about the Jets.
Isn't Montreal? Aren't they quiet? In that there's a weird.
I don't know. I've never
sound.
been. I would like to go. I want to hit like all the Canadian cities. And of course, I think I've explained this to you before. When I hit the Powerball, the first thing that we're going to do is take the show and our good friend Ricky and our good friend Amber, and we're going to Ottawa.
Okay.
So
to Ottawa?
Yeah, we're going to Ottawa.
I'd rather go like Vancouver.
We're going to Ottawa.
What's in Ottawa?
Because I don't remember the true origin of this. I think it was one day we're all hanging out, and they asked, what would you do if you won the Powerball? And I jokingly said, we're going to Ottawa. And it's just been, it's kind of just stuck.
Okay.
And so now it's like been brought up so much that we kind of have to do it.
Can we go to Vancouver afterwards?
Yeah, no, we'll have the plane.
You ever been to Guelph?
No.
The only reason I know what Guelph is, it's where they filmed part of the original Superman. That's the only reason I know. That's the only Canadians. Hamilton, Ottawa, and Guelph. Those are the ones I've been to.
If I said half the stuff that like is the response in my head, I would not work here.
Well, go ahead.
I can't say it now.
Nobody.
No,
Look, it's just us.
It's done.
And Dr. Crane, right? Dr. Crane, that is.
That's correct.
There's three of us. Nobody's listening.
It's an inside joke everybody's involved in.
I know. I need to put that on a promo.
That's a good one, right? It is.
615-737-1025. Coming up next, we're excited to have Kevin White join us. The book is called The Good Sport. It is reflections on a full life in college sports. The former AD will join us. Coming up next, live from Scoreboard here on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Wednesday. We're live at Scoreboard by Opryland, the Nashville Palace, all in here. And we're excited to be here today because Kevin White has joined us, the longtime athletic director at Arizona State, Notre Dame, Duke, and he has a new book out. It's called The Good Sport, Reflections on a Full Life in College Sports. Kevin, thanks so much for doing this. How you doing?
And Joe, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be with you and with your listenership.
Now, I left a couple of schools out, I know. What is it, Loris?
Loris College in Dubuque, Iowa, a little Catholic school.
Okay.
I love that place. And then we went from there to the University of Maine up in Orono, then down to the Big Easy to Tulane University, and then out to Arizona State, Notre Dame, and Duke. Been doing this since Jesus was in junior high.
And
Doing this a long time.
And nothing at all has changed in college sports. Nothing in that time.
It hasn't evolved one bit.
No,
Paige,
not even a bit.
Yeah.
I'm always curious, and you retired in 21, right?
I did.
Okay, so that was when a lot of stuff was really starting to change. Now that you look at it outside, what are things that you see that maybe you're glad you're not having to deal with now?
I miss it. People ask me all the time, would you do it again? That answer would be absolutely. I love my opportunities to be around kids and be part of their aspirations and their lives. And I know that sounds Pollyanna, but I really loved it. And I love being around coaches, and particularly young coaches, and mentoring coaches and staff. And for me, it was such an honor and a thrill over all those years. Today it's very complicated. And, I was just telling the audience inside, we got very permissive in college athletics. We actually lost practitioner leadership from the 90s. And it would take me too long to go through it all, but a guy named Gene Corrigan and Ced Dempsey were at the top of the food chain, and they both came from college athletics. And I really do believe if they were around for the last 15 or 20 years, we wouldn't be in this circus that we're in. We're in a mess. It's chaos on steroids. To use all along the Watchtower lyric phrase or phrases, there's no way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. There's so much confusion, I can't get no relief. That's the state of college athletics.
And it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon, because to me, you've let the toothpaste out of the tube and you're not going to put it back in. Now, could we see a restructuring of the NCAA? Could we see conferences break off and be super conferences? That time will tell on that. But what's kind of your thoughts on where it needs to go?
I think we need to get back to we've got to reestablish the NCAA, and you just all but said it. The NCAA has been really good at championships, and they've also been pretty darn good at some of the legislative stuff, responding to the needs and interests of the membership. Legislatively, they've been pretty good, but unfortunately, they've lost public trust and confidence, and now the NCAA is toxic, and I don't know that that's serving anyone's best interest, including the 500,000 student athletes that live in that system. So I think it needs to kind of be reinvented at the moment. And we've got a new leader, fairly new, and Charlie Baker, who's trying to do that. Former governor of Massachusetts, is maybe in his year 3 of redefining the NCAA. But there's an awful lot of heavy lifting to be done. And by the way, you're moving around the needs and interests of a membership of about 1,100 schools. And if you bear with me, it's not unlike the bar scene from the movie Star Wars. Different size, different size, shapes, and colors. Yeah. You got public, private, big market, small market. You got faith-based. It's just there's no homogeneity in this thing. And so to kind of move anything or move in any direction is really a challenge.
Now we'll be humming that theme, the Cantina band. All in my mind all day long. Kevin White is with us. The book is called The Good Sport, Reflections of a Full Life in College Sports, Ever-Evolving World. I got to ask you, though, your son, Danny White, athletic director at Tennessee, looks like he's doing it perfectly. Fan base is happy. He's hired the right coaches. I mean, you've got to be proud. I mean, he's got to be happy with what he's doing in Knoxville, because I'm telling you, Mr. White, I mean, I've never seen – it's been a long time since the unification of Tennessee Vols athletics from top to bottom, and your son is responsible for that.
Well, Jane and I are incredibly proud of Danny and Sean. It's a partnership. I mean, we did this as a tag team for a lot of years, Jane and I, and we know that. And he's surrounded by really good people. He's got a great president. The chair of the board or president of the system is terrific. So there's a great alignment there. But, he's in the right spot at the right time. And in my view, my not so humble view, and parental view, he's doing all the right things.
Well,
and particularly as this thing continues to be chaotic and it continues to evolve. He's demonstrated some really good vision and anticipatory skills. Usually, when we get ourselves in trouble, it's too late to be forward thinking. Now we got to deal with that moment, and it's usually not a very promising moment. But he's been anticipatory in some really good ways.
Well, I bet he's read The Good Sport, hasn't he?
He has. He has.
He better have.
I think he has. You know how that is with parents and kids,
right?
And they've heard it all before, and they're tired of it. But
well, he's doing a heck of a job there. And I wanted to ask you this. I mean, you hire a lot of people as athletic director, but is it fair to say the football hire is the one that people, I don't say judge you on, but that's the one that, does that give you the most consternation? Like, is this the guy? So it would keep me up nights.
Well, let me answer that from an economic perspective. For every dollar, broadcast property dollar, that's invested in college athletics, about 85% of every dollar is attributable to football. About 15% is attributable to men's basketball at most places.
Wow.
Very few places have a women's franchise like they have in Knoxville. But, it's about an 85-15 split. So that puts enormous pressure on that football acquisition, recruitment, hire, putting the team around the coach, putting the resources in place so that the resources, I just said to the group inside, are then commensurate with the programmatic expectations. If they're not commensurate, everybody loses.
You hired David Cutcliffe?
No, David was there
at Duke already.
But I did hire him at Notre Dame.
Oh.
I had Dave. I had lucky to hire David, and he came on a Charlie Weiss staff, and David unfortunately took ill about a month after he was in South Bend, only for me then to be with him a year later at Duke.
Oh. And
David and I hadn't even spoken through that process, but we knew David really well, if I may digress and say that. We were at Tulane in New Orleans, and our kids, Mike, who's the basketball coach at Georgia, and of course Danny, who you were just speaking about, they played summer ball basketball with Peyton and Eli Manning, and those guys were running through the halls of Tulane athletics, doing a speed camp and football camps.
Wow.
And stuff. And so I knew those kids as little kids, and our kids hung around with them, and we would hear about this genius sport quarterback guru up in Knoxville, David Cutcliffe. And so I knew all about David from Archie and Olivia Manning and then the Manning sons themselves. And so when David was released at Ole Miss, the first phone call I got was from Archie. He said, find a spot for him in South Bend. And we did.
Kevin White is with it. That's a great story.
Right?
That's a true story.
Yeah,
can't make it up.
When you got to Duke, obviously Coach K was there and established as the basketball coach. Was that a welcome challenge or intimidating because you knew the pedigree, you knew what he had there? How was that relationship when you started?
It was an interesting transition, interesting in all the good ways possible. I had hired Mike Bray at Notre Dame, and Mike had been an 8-year assistant at Duke for Mike Krzyzewski, and so I had been smothered with Mike Krzyzewski stories from Mike Bray. I felt like I knew him, even though we really hadn't met. And I think when I was going through the process of hiring Mike Bray, I believe I did talk to Mike Krzyzewski, but in any event, we became very, very aligned just immediately. We had a lot of common people between us and so forth. And Mike is, everything and more that people say about him. He you know, I people often say what did you learn the most from Mike? I learned his ability to adapt, um, to be in the moment, um, to be flexible and situational. Mike could reinvent himself and his program, a couple times a season, if not in a week getting ready for a game. He just is incredibly adaptive and instinctive. And I learned, I think, more than anyone else I'd ever been around. I learned that from Mike and about Mike.
What do you remember about your first game at Cameron?
Oh, magical. Every night at Cameron was magical. I mean, it's one of the great places on the planet for sport. And in fact, to kind of speak to that, when I first went to Duke, and again, 2008, I remember I'm big on, and we all are, I'm big on trying to get to know the staff you kind of inherit. I brought 3 people with me at that point from Notre Dame. But the people that I inherited, and I scheduled 15, 20 minutes with every employee, and I did it in Cameron.
Oh, nice.
I did it up behind the team bench and 5 or 6 rows up. And so we would get in the aura of Cameron as we kind of got to know one another. And for me, that was, I think about that even today, and I get goosebumps.
We're talking with Kevin White, the former AD at Duke, Arizona State, Notre Dame. I met you earlier, talking to you, and it's the 20-year anniversary of the Bush Push.
Oh, yeah.
Notre Dame and USC. You're the AD there. What do you remember about that game? Because it's probably one of the top 10 games of this century, and you had a front row seat.
Yeah, I was right down there, almost on the, like the 3 or 4 yard line on the Notre Dame bench side, and taking it all in, and really thought we were in pretty darn good shape at that point. And unfortunately, that didn't play out. But I'll never forget it. I'm still in therapy, by the way, so you need to know that. But I do find myself thinking about the near misses, and that one is as big as anyone I've ever been around, where I thought we had a chance to do something really special. And then I was telling you, Joe, before, Arizona State, we surrendered the lead to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl in '97 with 1 minute and 42 seconds left, or we would have won the national championship. That's another bedtime nightmare I have. The wins come and go, but the close losses, they really stick.
Right? It's funny because
they really stick.
We'll talk to coaches. They'll say, I can't tell you all the wins, but I can tell you all the losses.
Yeah.
And I'll say, oh, that's good, because they hurt.
They hurt.
Yeah.
And they hurt forever. Missed opportunities. You can't go back. You don't get a mulligan in this business.
Right.
You don't get a mulligan.
You're right.
You can't use the foot wedge. You're in trouble.
We're talking with Kevin White. We'll have more with him coming up next. The book is called The Good Sport. We'll continue the conversation next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Wednesday, continuing our conversation with Kevin White, who longtime athletic director. We're here at Scoreboard over by Opryland, and we brought in another special guest wearing his Notre Dame gear. Of course, the voice of the Predators, Pete Weber, is
and my
with
Notre
us.
Dame shoes, my special Notre Dame shoes.
Oh,
Look
very
at those,
nice.
Pete.
Very nice. But you obviously came by to meet Kevin,
Yes.
and one of the biggest Notre Dame supporters I know is Pete Weber.
Big name in ND circles.
Yeah.
None bigger.
The best I had a couple of years ago, I'm going to date myself here, but as I say at Notre Dame, we used to date ourselves for many years. That's just the way the school was set up, right? So my 50th reunion, I was the one called upon to interview the coach, Marcus Freeman, on the stage at the big dinner.
I love that.
That was just a tremendous experience. I'm been sold on him ever since.
He's the best. I've not met him, but as I follow him closely in the media, I mean, how could you not be impressed? The guy is everything the institution stands for. He is classy, integrity, smart. He's got it all. He's got the whole package.
With all of these recent firings going on in college football, he's rumored for everything.
Of course. I mean, if you would almost be negligent not to have him on your list.
Yes.
I mean, you would be an idiot. But he's, in my view, he's at the right spot. And also, I've already called him very intelligent. He knows it.
Are you glad you don't have to go through this process anymore, hiring, firing, interviewing coaches, or do you kind of miss that part?
I don't know that I ever really loved that part, upending people, separating people,
well, more the
people.
hiring part, I guess.
Yeah, the hiring was always kind of fun. And, the launch, the new beginning, the rest of it, it's full of promise. Everybody's undefeated. That's kind of the fun part. But I don't know that I miss all of that. What I said inside to the group, what I miss is the relationships with the kids. And I know that sounds Pollyanna, but I don't care. Get over it. I just loved being involved with the student athletes and being part of their aspirations and helping them think about their futures and being there to help them as they start to navigate their futures. And I'm still involved with a lot of kids from Duke and from Notre Dame. I was at I teach a class, Pete, on Monday night with Nina King.
Okay.
And it's a sport business class at Fuqua School of Business. And anyways, this is my 44th year teaching. I've taught everywhere I've ever been. And so I have profiles at the beginning of class. The students have 44 kids, and they all do profiles on 5 people. And one of the profiles this week was Justin Tuck.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Notre Damer. And I had great fun telling the class that Justin, not too many years ago, flew down from New Jersey. He was just finishing Wharton at that point in his MBA. He flew down and spent a day with me in Durham, and to still be connected to some of those kids. Brady Quinn, I'm connected to. I'm thinking, all the different places. It's just, that was the fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the icing way above. That was piled high icing on the cake to be around kids and young coaches and being part of their aspirations and how do you become a head coach and what do you got to do. And it just, that was very gratifying for me.
What was the process like of being at Notre Dame, being an independent? You have the NBC deal and all of that, and still being one of the top tier programs, and whether it was basketball or football, what have you.
Let's not forget hockey.
And hockey,
And
hockey for sure.
Hire Jeff Jones.
Yes, yes.
But not having that conference, that you were aligned with. I know there's kind of an ACC partnership now and things like that. But what was that process like?
And Jack Swarbrick just did it really well. I mean, you're not only the AD, you're the conference commissioner of a conference with one member institution. I mean, that's just what it is. It's what it feels like. And that's what the responsibility calls for. I hope that makes sense. But, you're involved with the broadcast property contract, in that case, NBC, but postseason football positioning and making sure that you make sure you have good rationale to hold on to the votes you need to have in those rooms, which was sometimes dicey and challenging. But it was fun. I mean, it was great fun. And we were talking about Father Malloy here a little bit ago. Monk Malloy, the president emeritus for, I guess he was there 18 years as president, maybe longer. He was a great partner. because when I take him to those back then BCS meetings, and we're in Nashville, and Roy Kramer had a lot of juice in
Yes,
those
he did.
meetings, and Roy Kramer was the football coach, Pete. Maybe you know this, maybe
Yeah.
you don't. Where I was the track coach at Central Michigan.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, Roy knew Danny White, Mike White when they were little guys. Yeah. And anyway, so when Monk came into those settings, it was like having a god with me, and he just he did a great job of helping us position, if not reposition, Our Ladies University.
Now, you've not been out of this that long. How many stupendous buyout deals did you have to negotiate when you hired a coach?
Not many. I
Good.
mean, I was lucky. I was really lucky. We were talking inside to the group. A pundit today or yesterday, I'm reading so much, and so are everybody else. I think they were talking about prognosticating it could be $200 million of dead coaching contracts that need to be satisfied from this cycle, this one cycle. Gosh. $200 million. I mean, it's proliferated to the point of ridiculousness. I mean, that's all I can say.
Oh, I'm sure. The book, The Good Sport. What was the genesis for this? I mean, you got all the experience, but it's well received. You're getting a lot of accolades for that. What did you hope to get out of this book that you want people to know?
It was, if I may digress and just say, because it is kind of maybe a little bit of a funny beginning. Jane and I were going to Dublin to celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary in 2022, anyway, we were going to go and have a 2-day gap before our kids and our grandkids arrived, and we started as a tandem. Now there's 28 of us, soon to be 29, by the way. And so we got 16 grandkids coming, but there was this 2-day gap, and John Anthony, and I don't know that may name operations people would also all know Anthony Travel.
Yes.
They handle about 100 colleges and universities, their athletics travel. So John gets wind that we're going over, and we get this 2-day hiatus before our family catches up with us. And he turns around and invites 25 of my former colleagues.
Wow.
And they surprise us in Dublin. And so we're at a pub in Dublin, and they start popping out of cabs. And John set up these terrific dinners in some of the really nice restaurants in Dublin. In any event, the conversation around the dinners was, largely it was a lot of Guinness and red juice, and it always drifted to, you got to write this journey down. And I could, I'd say, I'm not going to do that. Nobody's going to be interested. And so by the end of our 2 days together, I had a soft commitment. Let me think about it. And September, I got on my iPhone, this iPhone right here. It's given to me by Eddie Q, one of the top guys at Apple. In any event, I wrote every word on that book in this iPhone. This iPhone, 66,000 words, 217 pages, and in airplanes, in gates, at airports, or wherever I was. If somebody else was driving, I was writing. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing.
Did autocorrect drive you crazy?
No, that helped me.
Okay.
Because I was a poor student. It helped me. And then my daughter, whose name here, our oldest, Maureen White Treadway, is an English teacher at Notre Dame Prep out in Scottsdale, Arizona. And she took all the expletives out, and she took all my Long Island language out, and I almost lost a father-daughter relationship in this whole thing.
I'm sure.
She had enough of me.
What was it like
the first time
you held that in your hands?
It was
overpowering.
It was. I mean, it's over 50 years of stuff.
Right.
So it's a memoir coupled with, maybe I'd like to think, best practices.
Yeah.
Coupled with lessons learned, because I learned a lot of lessons. I was an AD for 38 years. Probably an AD before I was ready. And, and lots of time, I used the word before, I would have loved to have a couple of mulligans, but I didn't have them.
Yeah, right.
But that's what it is. And then sport evolved and changed. And then I changed locations and leadership. And I worked for some great presidents.
Oh, I'm sure you did. The Good Sport is the book with Kevin White. I got to think when you do all these, people like Pete, Notre Dame alumni, just come. Want to talk to you, want to see you. I got to think I know they're everywhere, but you see that they're everywhere.
Yeah, you do. Your past comes alive. And I said this to the group inside too, so I apologize for being redundant. But, you know what, the best byproduct of this book, it's reconnected me to kids I coached over 40 years ago. You know, they found me, they've rediscovered me, and they didn't know about all these nuances in our life that have occurred. And it's just been so great. I was the track coach. I was a track coach early on, and I was a track coach at Southeast Missouri State in the early '80s at SEMO, and we had some really, really great kids, some really talented kids, and that was a bit of a track school in that day, and it still is, but it was really a big track school. And I was doing a Cape Girardeau book event like this one here today, in maybe April, and as I'm talking to a group, a kid walks through the back door, and it was a hurdler I hadn't heard from in 42 years.
Oh wow!
And he was a big time guy. I mean, he was Willie Galt, Anthony Hancock type. I mean, he was a world class kid. And in any event, and his name is Andrew Pressberry. You know, he's very quick to tell me about his 26-year career as one of the top executives in Campbell Soup, and where his kids went to college. And I mean, it was like we hadn't been apart 10 minutes. But this book has done that. So there's been a lot of those reconnection things that I had never had thought about. I can't.
Joe just put a sign up that says, "Can you sing Rocky
If I sang, they would empty out the scoreboard."
Kevin, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to reading the book, The Good Sport. Where can people get it? Amazon,
Amazon, and they have an Audible as well, but it's on Amazon. And by the way, Christmas isn't that far off,
That's
folks.
true.
Correct.
Come on.
And I would say
Stocking stuffer.
chapters in Canada.
Yeah.
Chapters.ca.
there you go.
Thank you, Pete.
Yes,
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
are great to have me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Kevin
Thank you for
White
the conversation.
joining us here.
Thank
Pete
you.
Weber joining us as well. We'll have more coming from Scoreboard here at Opryland 102.5 The Game. All right, it's this weekend, the Talladega Superspeedway, the Yellowwood 500 weekend. All three NASCAR National Series will be there Friday through Sunday. The Craftsman Truck Series race on Friday, the Xfinity Series race on Saturday, and, of course, the Cup Series on Sunday. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 1-877-GO-TO-DEGA. That's how you can get your tickets. You can also stay connected with the Talladega Superspeedway on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Talladega for the latest on the Speedway news. It's not too late to have the Talladega Garage Experience presented by Cool Ray. It gives you the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR, access to the NASCAR Cup Series garage bay viewing areas, pre-race ceremonies, driver and crew chief Q&A sessions, and Mobile One Victory Lane, trophy photos, and so much more. Again, get it all, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Wednesday out at Scoreboard here in Opryland. Appreciate Kevin White for joining us on the program. Really good stuff there. And appearance by Pete Weber.
Yeah, nice appearance by Pete Weber. He saw the Notre Dame, like the Batman light in the sky. Said, I got to get over there. So we're at Scoreboard till 3 o'clock. Come by and say hi. Nice crowd. Stop by to get the book and talk to Mr. White. So it's very cool.
Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports also has reported that the Titans have let go of, you're going to make a joke, but let me finish this. Tom Jones, who is was the assistant to the head coach.
Oh, yeah.
So he has.
She's a lady.
Yeah, there it is.
Whoa. See, another guy I never
heard of.
Yeah. 27
Well,
coaches
I think he's like what Stretch was for Vrabel, John Stryker, Stretcher, or whatever, who's now in New England. I think that's who that was.
I wonder. I mean, they said Daddy Callahan just submitted he just not show up, or I mean, how'd this go down with him? I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I think
they
probably knew.
Yeah.
It's like he walks in and they're like, "Hey, Bill, you want to stick around?"
Got to tell you a quick.
You already got boxes.
A father-son story. When Lane Kiffin left Knoxville, the next morning, Monty Kiffin was loading his car outside the football facility, and there were a bunch of students that were leaning over, yelling at Monty Kiffin, and they were yelling, "You're a terrible father! You're a terrible father! You raised a terrible son!" And they weren't cussing.
Yeah.
And I remember we had it on videotape, and we were just dying laughing because Monty Kiffin just waving at him. He probably didn't understand what because they were a good ways away. Like, "You're a terrible dad." I don't think they'll yell at Bill Callahan that way, but he's gone. Well, move somebody else in there, new coaches. Look, two types of coaches, brother. Ones that are getting hired, ones that are getting fired.
Looking back on that, and I don't know if you've seen the E60 piece they did on him, which was really interesting. And there's going to be people that are going to watch it and they're going to go, he's full of you know what. And then there's people that are going to watch it like me that are kind of like, hey, I understand him a little bit better. But he talked about how heartbroken he was that Pat Hayden fired him on the tarmac.
What do you expect?
And like that he was like, I left. It was my dream job. I left a really good job in Tennessee that, was going to have an impact on me the rest of my career because I was there for a year and left. And he's like, people don't do that, but it was my dream job. And for it to end the way it ended.
Yeah.
And what was interesting, so he told the story about they were on the plane, they were flying back, and it had kind of a note had gotten back to him that Pat Hayden was up at the front of the plane talking about, him and wanted to talk to him and everything. And so Lane walks up there. He was like, hey, okay, look, and walks up there, and Pat Hayden's asleep. I don't know if Rand Carthon was on there too or what. But he said Hayden's wife looked at Lane with just this sorrow on her face. And that's kind of when he knew, like, oh.
Well, here's the deal with that. You're going to get no sympathy from me and from any Tennessee football fan.
I understand, and that's fine. You have every right to feel that way.
Yeah.
But, look, looking back on it, probably should have been fired. But, go back to the athletics office. Like, don't do it at the airport.
Well, I get all that.
But that's just a bad look.
But, like, when Tennessee fans were clamoring for him after the 20 season to bring him back before Mr. White's son hired Josh Heupel, who's done a heck of a job. They're like, oh, bro, wait, that was a long time ago. Lane's different. No, I was at all those games. I mean, he left that program in a disarray because of what he did. I mean, you fire Fulmer, and then you bring in Kiffin. You think he's going to be there for a while, and then the day before they got to go to class, he leaves for USC, puts all your recruiting class in limbo. Orgeron's calling every single recruit that you have not to go to class. Ed Orgeron is a slime ball. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, he won in 2019, but they didn't win because of him at LSU. Slime ball. He's telling those guys, don't go to class, come out to USC. And, of course, they went to class things because once you go to class, you got to stay there for a year. And that was back in 2010. But, yeah, I'm over the Lane Kiffin thing. I don't care what he's. I mean, I hope he's found the Lord and he's found himself. I more than hope that. But he left that program in Knoxville in complete disarray, and a lot of Tennessee fans will never forgive him for that.
I had a feeling at some point this week this call was going to come in about this subject, and that is Clay calling about James Franklin fired at Penn State. Hello, Clay.
Dynamite. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Crane.
You're welcome.
What you got?
Well, boys, I told everybody back in the day that Mr. Franklin would never win a national championship at Penn State, and now he's unemployed.
He sure is. You think he gets another crack at it?
I bet you he's coming back to the SEC. I would be a bit surprised.
We haven't talked a lot about this because all the Titan stuff going on. Does he not weasel? Does he weasel his way to Florida?
How was the trip to Vegas, boys?
It was good. It was good. Joe had a big time.
Football game.
Yeah, other than the football game, but
we had a good time out there.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be dial a score on Sunday. Vrabel's gonna run the score up.
Well, let me ask you this, Clay. That's our question of the day. I want the Titans to beat Vrabel because I think now there's new energy in that building, and I don't think the players should be blamed for the discombobulation of the front office. Now, my co-host here, one Chase McCabe, hopes that Vrabel comes in here and just stomps this football team indirectly at Amy Adams. And I understand that. But I want to see the boys win. They deserve to finally get off their butts and play hard and win on Sunday. It's a new direction. And I get all the disdain for Amy Adams. I completely understand all that. But this Sunday, it's about the players. And I want this football team, Titans, to win.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe a lot of times, a coach gets fired and the team responds to the interim coach. So we'll see. I was just saying that I'm sure Vrabel's sitting there licking his chops thinking that, he can put a whipping on them. But by the way, Case,
yes, sir.
I've given up on the Dallas Cowboys for the year. Jerry Jones is an idiot.
Don't we say that every year?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Amy and Jerry Jones are both idiots, boys.
Clay, why aren't you out here at Scoreboard Bar and Grill on Music Valley Drive to say hi? We get people showing up.
Why would you do that?
I just dropped someone off at the airport. Doing a little work there, Big Joe.
Okay.
Very nice.
Still come see us.
Speak to you, boys.
Thank you, Clay. All
right, Clay.
Appreciate it. You know he's going to bring you donuts now. That's what you want.
I love it. Absolutely, I do. The James Franklin thing back to the SEC. I mean, Penn State would love it. You know why?
Yeah.
He's off the payroll a little bit.
No, he's not. Actually, I think there's a clause in his contract that basically says for him to get the full buyout, he has to get another job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if they would like that.
I read that whatever he gets is deducted from Penn State. It's kind of
I don't know. I've read a couple of different things that say for him to get the full buyout, he has to get the job.
Okay.
Has to get a job.
Well, I just think, we talk to these coaches like, Jimbo Fisher will eventually get back in it. Muschamp, I think, does when his son is done playing football. And I think they're going to look at group of 5 programs because there's no pressure. You go to FAU, go to FIU, which, by the way, beat Western Kentucky last night, beat the snot out of Western Kentucky last night. But I think these guys, once a coach, always a coach.
Yeah.
We'll get back in it.
We haven't really talked about the James Franklin stuff. We'll talk more about that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, live at Scoreboard 102.5, The Game.
but I also want you not to take this organization for granted. I've been a lot of places. This is a special place with great leadership, great fans, great direction, great coaching. Enjoy it. It's not like this everywhere. Thank you very much.
The famous words of Mike Vrabel that got him fired. It's not like this everywhere else. Well, you know what, Mike? You were right. It's not even anywhere near close to that here. Because at least up there, the worst thing the owner does is go to a massage parlor. This one doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
And I was told at the time that Vrabel talking that Hall of Fame induction was a nothing burger.
It was nothing.
Told him it was a nothing burger.
Had nothing to do with anything. And then the report comes out. She was not very happy about those comments.
Was it she didn't know? I read both, that she did know and she didn't know.
It's amazing what she knows and doesn't know when it's convenient for her to know it or not know it.
True. Yeah. Plausible deniability.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you think she goes on the field Sunday and tries to shake his hand?
No.
You
They
think
won't
she
even
goes
show
on the
her?
field?
She's going to hide in her cave like she has been.
All right.
No. I would be very surprised.
I think she makes an appearance on the field Sunday.
And you know what? I hope she gets booed out of the building.
That's rude.
I'm done with her, man.
It's her
like
building.
I'm just like I'm being honest with you.
By the way, you done paying on that new stadium for her yet with the property taxes that came out this week? Chase now has 7 jobs, like most Nashvillians, to pay for their property tax increase for your new stadium.
My father's dying words. I'm leaving you the farm. Enjoy it. Hey, we're getting a new stadium. Son of a.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I think the vibe at Sunday at Nissan Stadium will be unlike any we've seen in a long, long time. It's like the uncle coming to town that's the black sheep of the family, but he's coming back because somebody forgave him and he's coming, and we're all together, and you got to dress the white elephant in the room and nobody wants to. And so I think it's going to be a whole chaotic, beautiful scene on Sunday.
It's going to be something. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I do.
It is. I will be very curious of the reception for him, the reception if she does show her face and wave to the crowd.
Right. Our question for those now joining us.
You know what's going to be funny? Her dad used to flip the double birds to fans. The fans are going to flip the double bird to her.
It's a big fine if she does it. Are you team Chase? Chase wants Vrabel to come in here and win on Sunday and just basically wants to beat the Titans just to shove it in Amy's face. Or are you team Joe? You actually want the Titans to win because you want them just to beat Vrabel and the Patriots. It's about the football game. All answers are accepted. We prefer Team Joe. 615-737-1025. I will have you that nobody's been voting for Team Joe for the last 2 hours.
Well, all right. Kenny the mailman is up now. We'll see if Kenny the mailman thinks that it's me or Joe.
Chase,
Kenny.
how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Listen, I hate to tell you this, but being president of the Joe Dubin fan club, I'm Team Joe all the way, brother.
There you go.
Yes.
That's
Even
okay.
though his predictions come true about as much as Tom Tyler, the weather wizard. Only
Look.
me and Joe remember.
Oh, yes.
Snow in May.
I tell you what, Kenny, how about you do this? Any mail going over to the Titans facility, can you just inconveniently drop it in a puddle or something so they have to deal with
Oh,
that?
don't you get to
M-I-L,
yourself.
M-A-I-L,
I remember
not a
people
mail.
doing that. But listen, seriously, there's 2 reasons why I am Team Joe. A lot of people forget there are just fans out there that just their whole heart is with the team. And I have a son named Jack that, I mean, he calls me on Sunday night about 10 o'clock, borderline despondent. And I mean, just like somebody kicking his dog. It's been so bad each week, and I hurt for him. I just wanted to do well for him, my love for my son. And second, Chase, you're going to learn this through life. You're still young. You can't embarrass a billionaire. If they were not embarrassed about leaving the 4th largest city in the United States to come here, You're not going to get embarrassed over much of anything. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Kenny.
See you, buddy.
Here's the thing. I am passionate about this, and like I'm mad about this because I am a fan. Like, I'm not one of these radio hosts that's going to hide who I'm a fan of. I got into this because I'm a Titans fan. I'm a Predators fan. I'm a Vanderbilt fan.
Right.
You know, I want Tennessee to do well unless they're playing Vanderbilt. I mean, that's how I've always been. And so, every year for the last 10 years, I've bought a new Titans hat at the start of the season, and I did it again this year. And I was looking at it last night. I'm like, why do I waste my money on this? It's like, why do I do this to myself? I'm a Cowboys fan before they got here and still kind of hold on to that. And it's like, that's a mess. And it's just, I want them to win, but I want them to win the whole freaking thing. Like, and I just don't see that they're anywhere close to that.
No, they're not. No, look, I look, but a lot of Titans fans are still passionate. We saw the phone calls Monday and Tuesday, all the reaction. People want them to win.
Yeah.
They truly still love this franchise despite how terrible of an owner she is and how bad it's been for a long time. People still want this football team to win. And now maybe she sees it now. When all the national people are talking about how dysfunctional you are, not anybody else, how you are, maybe that resonates with them. Maybe somebody sits her down and says, look, Amy, this is the reality of what's happening now. You need to understand this. Hopefully she does. I don't know.
When was the last time that either before a season or, after the first 5 games, or that you truly had the feeling, you know what, this team's actually got a shot to win the Super Bowl?
The COVID year was weird. That was still a good football team.
Was that the year with 90-something players? And
that was 21.
The number 1 seed?
Yep.
Yeah.
But you didn't go into the season.
No, I didn't go into the season. And even during the season, I didn't feel it because Derek was hurt.
Okay.
Yeah. But going into that Bengals game, I was like, you know what? They should win this game. And then I think they got a good shot to at least get there. And they squandered that away.
They did.
But I didn't truly have this is the year. 2008, I did. 2008, I was like, this is a pretty damn good team.
Well, and they started off 10-0.
Yeah.
Great question. I mean, 17, not Super Bowl wise, but when Robinson kind of turned around, they went 8-8. Malarkey, you're feeling something, right?
Yeah.
And then 18, Vrabel's first year there, Malarkey got him to the second round of the playoffs. He was gone. Vrabel came in there, had Matt LaFleur on the staff. There was a little something that came down the final game versus the Colts, but not going into the season, I think they had an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. They'll be competitive, but not odds-on favorite to win a Super Bowl.
We'll continue this discussion. Take your calls, take your texts, 615-737-1025. We're live at Scoreboard today here on Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, hour number 3, 102.5 The Game here on this Wednesday, hanging out at Scoreboard. We had Kevin White on earlier, his book, again, The Good Sport, Reflections on a Full Life in College Sports. Had him on earlier, and it was awesome to talk to him. But talking Titans now, a lot of you still, we're venting. I'm clearly just done. And I'll get over it and, still support them and all that stuff. It's just, and I think what's interesting is when people come at me of like, why do you care what she has to say so much? She's put people in place to run the football team, and she has. I care because nothing is getting better, and she keeps firing people that she puts in place and having a knee-jerk reaction, and I would just like her to explain it.
Let's play the game of what if.
Okay.
What if she had not fired John Robinson?
I think this team's in a better spot. I'm going to stand by. I think, did he have mess-ups? Did he have some bad draft classes, especially the last couple? Yeah, he did. And he came on our show and talked about that and obviously would like some do-overs. I think he should have been given an opportunity to fix it, and he wasn't.
I think –
and so, yes, I think they'd be in a better place.
And I think, we can go back to the AJ trade before the draft or during the draft, April of 22, but the team was still competitive in 22. I know AJ hung 1,000 on him, but they're still competitive. So if you don't knee-jerk and fire your general manager,
yep.
And it was the talk of the locker room. According to people that I know, that was like, what in the hell? And it affected the football team, and it affected everybody going forward. So they probably would have made the playoffs in 22.
Now, look, if they didn't make, if they kept him and they didn't make the playoffs, and at the end of the year they all sat down and they ultimately, thought, hey, he's messed us up too much. I don't trust him to fix it, and they let him go. I would have understood. I wouldn't have necessarily liked it because I like John. I thought John, was a good GM and had, good picks. He had bad picks, but I would have understood. I more so than firing him in the middle of the season. I think Vrabel was getting crusty there at the end, and I think that I think that some decisions had pissed him off and kind of put him in a bad spot. But ultimately, I thought that was a bad move to fire him when they did. Now, the next year, I could have understood, but I think these guys, those two in particular, should have gotten one more year or one more opportunity to right the ship, and they didn't. And then the problem I have that makes it even worse is the replacements were god-awful. Rand Carthon, again, this is the theme here. Nice guy, terrible GM. Brian Callahan, nice guy, terrible GM or terrible head coach. The replacements were not good. And then you've appointed a guy to run football that every time I hear him speak, he looks scared to death. And that, he's even said like, well, I didn't ask for this job. Don't say that. Even if that's the truth, don't tell me that.
That Brinker?
Yeah, because that tells me that you're not qualified for it. And I think we've seen that he's not. Again, nice guy.
Don't look now, but Team Joe's making a comeback.
I see that.
On the text line.
That's fine. And look, I 3337, J-Rob stomped the guts out of this team. There are people that are only going to see that, and they're never going to credit any of the good stuff that he did, and that's fine, and I've learned to live with that. I am not exonerating him by any means. And I said that to his face. We've talked. Like he's not exonerating himself.
Right.
But like I think he did enough good that he earned an opportunity to fix it, and he didn't get that opportunity to fix it.
No, he didn't. And I think, he told us about the Isaiah
Isaiah Wilson?
Yeah,
that was just a miss. He told us. It's a terrible miss.
That it was he's like, it's like he swiped right on Tinder because of the picture.
Yeah.
Then you meet in person. It's kind of like, this doesn't match the picture. I think the Farley pick
was the
awful.
If you're using the interception analogy, that was the death pick.
Yeah, and then the Burks reaction pick, and I think that was a really, really bad pick to think you could replace A.J. Brown when you should have not done that and got somebody else. But But again, where do all the past lead back to?
The owner.
The owner.
Right.
All back to her. So how can they get it right? They got to get it right.
I mean, I've seen the report that like one of the big things with AJ was they were worried about the knee and they didn't want to extend him because they thought the knee was bad and all this, whatever.
why.
And look, she didn't want to pay him.
He was going to be a nuisance in training camp.
He's a high profile, high strung personality, also known as a wide receiver. Tell me I'm wrong, D-Mace, Chris Sanders. Talks, outspoken, and the dude deserved to get paid. And she didn't want to pay him.
That was it. And
Howie Roseman said, okay, I'll pay you.
Well, that was going to drag out through training camp. They all knew it was going to because didn't Debo Samuel do the same thing? And they were all Instagram chatting with each other. And I think it would have been a nuisance. And they were like, yeah, we don't want to put up with that. And now look what you've got. It's not by coincidence that this franchise is terrible. I mean, it's really not. But again, when all the national shows are now saying that there's a problem, we all know there's been a problem here, but the dysfunction of her and the hiring and what's all going on, then maybe it'll hit her. Maybe it'll realize, like, you know what? I need to stay out. Maybe that'll happen. Who knows? But the problem is she's not shown to do that before. But again, on Sunday, it's just about the players. Just go out and win on Sunday. And how better is it that Vrabel's coming to town and everything just matches up with all this? And it's going to be an epic day at Nissan Stadium because of that.
615-737-1025. Jack has been waiting patiently. Jack, what's up?
Well, I want to say that I wouldn't take this job, not because of Amy, but because of you and those like you. You just complain about everything. There's nothing that they can do right. You wanted the coach fired. They get fired, and now you want to – I'm not going to say it over the radio, but you want to fuss about how it was done and how that last thing was done. I guess that's the way you get ratings, but God, it's awful. You make us sound like make Philadelphia sound like them golden children. I mean, we are not fans, and you're not. You don't have to be a homer, but for goodness sake, give it a break sometime.
Jack, all right, don't hang up. Let's have a little chat. So, what do you think? Everything's all hunky dory over there?
I think that if you leave them alone and let them do their job, they do a better job of it because they get a lot of pressure from you and the stir that you and other radio stations create about their activity, that they probably make just bad decisions. And I don't agree with that, but they probably make some bad decisions because they're trying to listen to what everybody's complaining. Fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach. Well, you fire the coach, and now you're in hot water because we make us look like a dysfunctional organization.
Jack, I appreciate the call. I'm going to say this. If she's basing her decisions about what I say on 102.5 The Game, that I win. That explains everything there.
I did not say that. I said if that influences the decision at all, then it's not reasonable to not let them do their job without constant hammering on them. I mean, sometimes they do some things good. I think the recruiting class this year was fabulous compared to a lot of others. Everybody's playing for the most part, and they're contributing.
And I've praised that draft class. I've said I think the draft class is pretty good.
Hey, Jack, do you criticize the president?
When he does something wrong, I do, but I don't.
There you go. You just answered our question for us. Thank you, Jack.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack. Look, again, I've explained
We're a
this.
sports talk radio. We want opinions from everybody.
My thing that cracks me up is the fan base that I think deep down is pissed off too, but they got to blame somebody, and they don't want to blame her or the team for some reason because they think if they do, they're going to get banned from Nissan Stadium, which if they start doing that, then okay. But like, you can come at the media all you want. Most of the stuff we're saying, a lot of fans 100% agree.
Right, yeah. I mean, they're not. If she's listening to us, then there's a bigger problem than we realize.
And you know what? They listen.
They
I know they
listen.
listen.
Of course they do. and they read everything. They're not dumb. That's the pulse of the city that's going on there. But I get you, Jack. Man, I appreciate you calling in, Bubba.
Matt says, I was kind of understanding of the caller named Jack until he blamed you for the decisions they are making. If that organization is listening to the radio and making their decisions based on your opinion or the fans, we have a larger problem.
Right? I mean, we have a larger problem. But
It's my fault.
Now look what
Hi, I'm Chase McCabe, and it's my fault that your football team is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Look, Jack, you got people fired up now, man. They're calling in. We ought to hire Jack part-time.
I mean, look, it's the media's fault. It's always the media's fault.
Yep.
It's our fault because we make the decisions over there.
Yep, right that. Jack.
615-737-1025. We'll take more of your phone calls and texts on this next. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. 1025 the game. Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Wednesday. I'm the general manager. Big Joe's the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, according to
Jack.
some callers. Hey, I just got off the phone with Ryan Cowden up in New England. I'm going to send Jeffrey Simmons up there for a fourth. You cool with that?
Might as well. Bring it.
Since, I have so much power. Look, I appreciate the call. But if what we say and our complaints, and we're not the only ones doing it, influence them, then they got bigger problems.
You're right.
That's
I'm
all,
with you, brother.
615-737-1025. James wants to weigh in. James, what's up?
Yeah, thanks for taking my phone call. I want to go back with this franchise to its genesis and just go forward and look at compared to other franchises. Just first of all, let me say this family, from Bud to his daughter, apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. These people have no business owning this team. There's a reason 10 years ago the NFL wanted the family to trade the team because of its terrible way of handling it and it's embarrassing the NFL. When you go back in history, in my lifetime at least, since I've been watching football, with the Oilers, they went to the AFC Championship game back-to-back in the late 70s, lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay? They fired Bob Phillips, who at that time had the winningest record for the Oilers in history at that time in the early 80s. The good times, basically, is when Jeff Fisher came along and Floyd Reese was running this team. That's really the only time this team's had any success, with the exception of a couple of times with the King, Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill, who are both gone. Basically, what I'm trying to get at, Amy listens to the wrong people. And whatever she's told and influenced by is people that probably she shouldn't be listening to. So as long as she's at the helm, guys, there's going to be chaos and disorganization, and there's just going to be second guessing on every decision that she ever makes. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you for the call, James. Appreciate it.
James, you're going to make Jack mad.
I just asked Robbie Stanley if he was listening. He said he was knee-deep in a dumpster, and I said, oh, cool, so you're at the Titans facility right now.
Nice.
Very nice. Mike, you're up next. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Okay, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, so I completely understand what you guys are going through right now, especially seeing the likes of Baker Mayfield possibly win MVP this year. That one really stings. But I listen to the show every day. I'm a huge fan, and I root for the Titans sometimes, but I often instantly regret it because they end up getting smoked. I want to see them succeed. I like Cam Ward and what he's about, but I don't see the pieces around him fitting well. How can that change? Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. Towards the bottom. Have you figured out who that is
yes,
yet?
Okay.
Yep. Let's go to Dylan. He has a response to Jack. Oh, Dylan, what's up?
Hey guys, and look, let me just say this is me talking. This is not you guys, but this fan base has some of the stupidest fans in the entire league. This idea that we should just be lucky to have an NFL team and sit on our hands and just be happy with whatever they do over there, not question it, is absolutely pathetic. And Amy loves to be a front runner. She loves to go out and tailgate when everything's looking good. She hides in Houston after she fires a coach, and we are the laughing stock of this league right now, and it is absolutely pathetic. I'm going to go to that game Sunday. Maybe I'm stupid for going. Hell, I don't know what I don't know if I'm going to applaud Vrabel or boo Vrabel. I'm going to have to see how I feel. But we have got to get over this idea that we cannot question them, and Amy needs to come out and stop hiding. Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. I agree. Look, man, at this point, I will take a statement. I will take no question. You don't have to ask questions, even though I think she should. We used to like two-tone TV. She sit down with Mike Keith. Mike's not here anymore. Sit down with Taylor Zarzar or Amy or whoever, and do something. Because I guarantee you, when they start winning again, and they will, because that's how the NFL works.
It is right.
Then all of a sudden, oh well, I'm so proud of our team, and what Chad has done and built, and Mike. And,
Look, man, she got
and
her
our new
stadium.
coach and-
She got her stadium. She don't need to hear from you. She don't hear from you anybody. She got her stadium. She got a stadium that the city's going to give her $1 billion for that we were told wasn't going to cost much of that. I mean, it's ridiculous. But that's what's going to happen now. And so she doesn't care. She really does not care.
I
maybe now with all the talk around the
think-
country, she'll care.
Well,
Because
no,
it looks bad.
the constant report that I see is she doesn't like being embarrassed, and she's been embarrassed, and that's when she does care.
Because it's her fault.
It's her fault, right?
All her
Most of
fault.
the time, when people get mad like that and have those knee-jerk reactions, is because they know they are the ones that have screwed up.
Yep.
But they're never going to admit that.
No, you're right. Just bad. I mean, it's just this is what losing does to all of us. We're at each other's throats. I mean, Jack's mad at us. What do we do to you, Jack?
I mean, look, it's my fault. I'm the one that have.
I'd like for you to apologize to Jack.
Jack,
right now.
I'm sorry. By the way,
That's
Wes,
not heartfelt.
Wes and well, because I want to read. Wes and Hermitage said, Chase, I've been blaming Amy this whole time. I had no clue, man. Amy, I'm sorry. You aren't the problem. It's you, Chase. You're the one that's the issue here. Why did you do this to our team?
Why do you put pressure on Jeffrey
I'm sorry,
Simmons?
man. I'm so sorry.
Put pressure
Well,
on
I'm
these
trading
guys.
him. I'm trading him to New England.
Pressure.
They call back. They want to give me a fifth. So I said, take him.
Jack, we love you, man, because you spawned a bunch of calls today and texts off of you blaming Chase for the problems with the Titans. We've taken a lot of great calls. That might be at the top of everything. Chase to blame for all that.
Oh, here's another one. 9828. Why is this station so upset that Amy was not present for the coach being fired? I've never heard this with any of the Predators coach firings. Not Trotz, Slavy, or Hines. She is the owner. Coach belongs to the GM. 9828. Well, here's the thing with the Predators. That ownership group doesn't hide. And they have someone
Yell at me. I don't know.
Sean Henry represents them too, but they're a group. They're not, individuals. But when Tom Sigerin was the chairman, he was around.
But specifically for that question,
yeah.
When Laviolette got fired, did the owner show up?
No, because, and I know people are going to say, well, so did she, but Sean has always kind of been the voice of the owner. And that was understood because they've said that, and there's a group, but they show up when they need to show up. So for a fire, and you're right, they don't show up for that. But Haslam has been very, very public and has shown his face and has spoken. You know who's interviewed him? I have.
About firing a coach?
No. About bringing Barry Trotz back. that was one. And it's not just this station, okay?
But here's
other
the deal.
station too.
When's the last time she took questions?
No, never.
I don't remember. I mean,
so it's not just about firing. It's about in general.
But don't you want to hear from her?
Yes.
I mean, we all do. And the fact that you don't want to hear from her, I find that really odd. I think you're really odd if you don't want to hear from the owner. At least at some point.
You know what? I think my response to these people that are like, she doesn't need to talk, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm not interested in a season ticket, so you can go call somebody else because you must work for the team.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah.
Jack needs to come out the scoreboard, and we all buy a bunch of bushwhackers. John Nix is here; he'll buy one too. And well, all we're missing is Joe Williams. Joe, you can get out here in time to have a bushwhacker.
Kevin in Florida, I expect resignation letters from you and Big Joe tomorrow. Poor Jack needs some help. Needs some hope. Yeah, I'm gonna go put mine in Jeffrey Simmons' locker. I'm gonna pull a what's his name? Now I blank on his name. Motorcycle guy now at Arkansas.
Petrino.
Petrino. You just put a note in their locker.
So, Dr. Crane, get ready. You'll be the interim tomorrow once we resign.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You got this.
There's no okay.
I'm ready.
You're going to be the guy.
Let's do this thing. First order of duty is to make sure we have a pasta day every Friday.
Now you bring that once we're gone. That's not fair.
Joe and I don't care what you're going to do. We're going to take our buyout and go sit on the beach.
That's right.
Okay.
We're
I'll
going to
visit
buy
you guys every Sunday.
Joe's going to buy his little house in Key West, and I'll probably do the same thing and just chill, just count the money. Wes in Clarksville, be nice to her. be nice for her to have been there, but it's like the last scripted interview with Mike Keith and Don't Waste Our Time. We call that two-tone TV. That's what we call that.
Or the celebration for Rand Carthon that day, which a friend of mine who worked over there was like, what are we doing again? And that they made it like Rand Carthon was returning home from war. And it was just the
I noticed
biggest.
they didn't do that for Borgonzi or Callahan.
Yep.
Or anybody else.
I mean, imagine going to her and say, I got this great idea. Rand's coming in who nobody knows, and we bring everybody out, and like he is just the you-know-what for pro football. Like, what are we doing again? Who's this guy? Why are we over here? And then
they wonder why there are certain reports about certain things.
Oh, man. Right?
I'm going to leave that alone. But 615-737-1025. Is Mike McCoy speaking right now?
Yes, sir. Oh, just ended.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll hear from Cam Ward. We'll check in with him here in just a little bit. It's Chasing Big Joe live at Scoreboard 102.5 The Game.
Hey, guys, Big Joe here. Let's talk about anxiety and depression. You know, two words that can just wreck your life if you let them. And men, sadly, most of us lead lives of quiet desperation, but I'm telling you, it does not have to be that way. That's why we are so honored to be partnering with Unity Psychiatric Care, based right here in Middle Tennessee, to get you back on track and living the life you deserve. You know, reaching out to someone, talking to someone changed my life, and I want the same for you. Here's what you got to do. Just go to GameNashville.com and click on the Chase and Big Joe show. There, you will see a link for Unity Psychiatric Care, and let's start taking back your life. It's private, it's secure, it's confidential. No one has to know. I just need you to reach out to get better. Or you can call 1-888-508-8002. That's 1-888-508-8002. Look, I'll preach all day long that our world is a better place because you are here. You have so much to be thankful for, and for us, that is you. We love you so much and help us just around the corner. Take back your life, and please know you don't have to go through any of this alone. Just go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show, and there's information for Unity Psychiatric Care, and let the journey to wellness begin.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Wednesday at Scoreboard. Little Eddie Money bringing us back.
Speaking of money, did you get a buyout now that you're quitting or being let go?
Yeah, no, I'm being let go by the Titans. Not by the radio station, by the Titans.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that.
Jack would like to see you gone. And me,
Yeah.
I'm being your sidekick. I guess I've been let go too as well.
Yeah, we're negotiating.
For those who missed it,
Not
there was a
happening.
phone
Thanks
call
again,
30
Rand.
minutes ago. I didn't hear that.
Nope, not happening. Thanks again, Rand.
We had a phone call 30 minutes ago, blamed Chase for about 98% of the Titans, and was adamant that because Chase gets on the radio station and runs that yapper, it's really upset the Titans.
I would love to come on the air tomorrow and be like, guys, so I got a phone call from the Titans after the show today. I mean, they told me they're pissed. They're like, hey man, can you stop?
Yeah,
like it's
please,
it's really messing us up over here.
I mean, every time I get in the car and turn it on, you guys are talking bad about us, and my feelings are hurt.
Yeah, well,
but what does that mean though when you hear a Raiders coach say that the Titans game that's the worst team he's seen in 20 years in pro football? I mean, that's far-reaching. That's just like you're not bad here or there. He said that was the worst football team he'd seen in 20 years.
It's bad. And look, I mean, you and I, in our careers, we meet people. It's all about who you know. And what do we hear behind the scenes? We hear more, especially lately, we hear more bad than good.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it all points back to one direction, not the band.
All right. So I wasn't at Simmons' locker when he said that on Sunday, but you were there.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says that practice was terrible,
right. And now there's a report that somebody said to somebody else that he and J.C. Latham got into it, that basically Simmons called Latham out for being lazy, essentially, having a bad practice. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, it's –
Latham was awful. I know he's playing Max Crosby. I get it, but he expected to win something, and it was embarrassing.
Yep. But look, I have been, and whether he's heard it or cares or knows or whatever, but, I will admit, I have been hard on Jeffrey Simmons the last couple of years. This year, I have been thoroughly impressed. The way he's played, the way he's conducted himself, even, he gets the penalty in Denver, and I was like, dude, you're doing so well. I mean, he's bounced back from that. He's taken ownership. And when he said that, and I was standing right there looking him in the eye, and when he said that, and I even everybody ran in to go talk to Cam Moore, and I stayed back for a second and asked a follow-up of do you think you guys do you kind of have to go backwards and go, let's just get one play right, and then let's get two plays right, and then let's get a series right, and then a quarter, and go from there. And he's like, he kind of paused and kind of looked at me, and he was like, yeah. It's like that. I mean, that should be how it goes, right? You got to put all that together. And he said, we're not doing that.
Cam Ward at the podium.
Once I came in on my visit here, during my 30 visits, and he's had, history with good quarterbacks, got a chance to work with Philip Rivers over there. And then just the attitude that he brings to just the team, the building, and he wants us to play winning football. He's going to get that out of us. And so, we just got to buy in, come in together, with coach and make plays for each other.
It's important for you, Cam, that, as you said, not that much changes because Bo is still calling the plays, and do they try to keep things as much routine as possible around you, even in this time of change?
I don't understand it.
Bo is still the play caller, so that doesn't change. Is that important in keeping the continuity of for you in the offense, that not too much changes in that regard, even though Brian's no longer here?
It's the same thing we've been doing the past couple of weeks, ever since we made the play calling change. So it really doesn't change our operation. It's just more of us trying to do things the right way in practice and translate to the game.
McCoy said there were some things that he wanted to tweak during individual period. I know it's only been one, but what are your thoughts on those changes, and how much do you feel that's going to help?
I think it's good. It's going to help a lot of us, not only myself, just more individual time with our coach, just getting the fundamentals right, whether it's defense, offense. And I think it's going to help us as we get to our team units and practice. I think it's going to help us in the game.
Has he discussed with you at all about being more secure with the football? Because that was something that he brought up in his initial press.
He discussed it enough, and he doesn't have to discuss it with me. I know that that's my job. Ball security is job security as a quarterback. So I know, the turnovers can't be a main thing for myself. Something I got to continue to clean up.
Did you maybe drift off your midline and throw off your back foot or going backwards more in that game than you had? And how frustrating is it to fall into some of that stuff when you're working on it on a daily basis?
I didn't think I was throwing off my back foot a lot, unless you can tell me a play. But I made it slipped up because whether I have to move in the pocket or whether it's getting out or stepping up. But then I have to be accurate with the football. I have to give my receivers a chance to make plays for us and give them a chance to go score touchdowns. I just think it's more of a feel in the pocket that I have, whether it's drifting to check the ball down. Then also it's something that I've had throughout college, and that's something that I'm trying to clean up just less of it. And then also at times when I need to.
Do you feel like the change with Brian was necessary? Did you feel like that change had to be made?
It's really not for me to say. That's not my thing in the building. My job is to play quarterback. My job is to help lead this team to win. So I'm going to support whatever decision we make. The guys in the locker room are going to support it. But at the end of the day, with coach and without coach, like, we're trying to win football games. That's the main message that, Coach Mike is preaching, and we just got to live by it and stay true to it.
How would you describe what the locker room's reaction has been since the change tonight?
It's been, good from a person standpoint, from nobody dragging in, nobody feeling sorry for themselves or what our record is. Because the only way is up for us. We put ourselves in the hole. These first couple of games, we got to dig ourselves out of this hole. So we still got, high energy. The locker room is great. We just got to continue to try to put games together and try to win.
How do you feel like guys responded today at practice? You guys talked after the game in Vegas about not having a great practice week last week.
I think we responded real well, especially just offensively, from the urgency level to the play calls, getting out the huddle faster, to myself operational wise, getting to the line of scrimmage and making the checks that we need to snap the ball. But I think we're trending in the right direction, but we just got to make it happen faster.
Mike, how would you describe his coaching style and how he's been with you on a day-to-day basis since you've been here?
I think it's even kill. He never gets too high or too low. Even throughout the sideline, you can see him on the game. His facial expression never changes. He's always the one to pick someone up if we need it. Now he's just in a more vocal role that he was just in, and I think it's going to be great for us. I think it's going to be great for us as an offense, and just at the end of the day, we're going to rally behind him and try to get some wins.
There may be a conflict between playing up tempo, which creates more of an offensive game, right? More plays, and trying to maybe reduce the game for a rookie quarterback and not have you guys play more plays. Could that be some of what's going on with the more tempo, less tempo thing? Play more tempo. Sorry, you guys play that. Playing at a higher tempo seems to be good for you. You like it, but it creates a lot more plays. And one of the things teams tend to do with the rookie quarterback is try to run the ball and slow a game down, so a rookie quarterback doesn't have to play so many plays. Do those two things are they maybe in conflict?
I don't think they're in conflict. I think it's more of us getting great at the things that we're good at. I think that's the biggest thing. And whether we're going to play up tempo or slow it down when we need to, I just think we got to run the ball, efficient. We got to have a, efficient pass game. I think we haven't been consistent at it the whole year. So once we get consistent at that, I think just everything else take care of itself.
You spoke pretty explicitly with us during the preseason about wanting continuity for your career. Does it frustrate you that just 6 weeks in you've lost that?
It doesn't frustrate me. I've dealt with coaching changes at really every stop I've had, in my past. So that's not I'm not frustrated with that. The biggest thing is we're trying to score points as an offense. Our defense, they're playing hard for us each and every game. They're the reason why we're in a lot of these games in the fourth quarter to win it. Us 11 on our side of the ball, we just got to do our part. We haven't done that enough to win these games. So that's the biggest, thing that we're trying to focus on as an offense, score points for the defense and win some games.
Cam, what qualities would you prefer?
What would I prefer to head coach? Somebody who can really do everything from top to bottom, and that's both sides of the ball, offense, defense. They know the system in and out. And I think the biggest thing is how is the coach gonna be with the players? Like how is he gonna, camaraderie the locker room? You have all different types of personalities in our locker room, and whoever we get, I know to be the right hire. But that's not really my main focus right now. I'm with Coach McCoy right now. We're gonna try to win some games.
Cam Ward after practice today talking about all the changes made over there. Not by me, by them. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up with what day is it? Celebrity birthdays. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Wednesday, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. We'll be there tomorrow at Bar Lines, and thanks Scoreboard for having us out here today. As we do every day, let's wrap things up with what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on the list we have, this is great. I Love Lucy Day. Love that.
Oh, nice.
This
Great
next
show.
one is Global Dignity Day. So you Global Dignity. Global Hand Washing
We don't have
Day.
any of that.
Hagfish Day is today. That's an interesting fish. International Day of
Joe's
Rural.
had a couple of those.
International Day of Rural Women. Let's see.
Joe's had a couple of those.
National Cheese Curds Day. National
I've had a
Chicken
couple of those.
Cacciatore Day. Love that. National Lemon Bar Day. Another delicious pastry. National Red Wine Day. National Roast Day. Delicious. National Shawarma Day. That's another delicious thing. Next on the list, last two things to wrap up. It's a long list, but today is Breast Health Day and Breast Reconstruction Awareness Day. So, just make sure everything's constructed properly.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month for sure.
Exactly.
So, good stuff there.
There
All
we
right,
go.
JoJo.
Celebrity birthdays. Here we go. Got to get these within two. Our first birthday. Chase, you go first. Famed chef Emeril Lagasse. How old is he today?
74.
80.
66. Good job there. Nick, you go. Singer Genuine.
59.
56.
55. Chase, you're on board. Chase, you go first now. Next up is musician Richard Carpenter of the Carpenters.
81.
84.
79. Chase killing up 2-0. Dr. Crane, you go. Singer Eric Benet. He was Halle Berry's ex-husband. Eric Benet.
48.
52.
59. Next up, Chase, you go. Trading Spaces host Paige Davis.
44.
50.
56. Dr. Crane, you go. Kimberly Schlattman of Little Big Town. She's the one with all the hair.
53.
55.
56. Chase up 3-0. Chase, you go. Christian singer Jackie Velasquez.
42.
45.
46. Dr. Crane's on the board. Chase, you go. Jim Palmer, Baltimore Hall
Orioles?
of Famer.
71.
77.
80. Dr. Crane, you go. He's from Chattanooga. Roscoe Tanner, tennis player, made Wimbledon.
63.
64.
74. Last one, Chase, you go. You're up 3-1. Hall of Famer Joe Klecko.
Joe Klecko, 57.
58.
72. Chase wins 3-1. You got like a 90% winning percentage, Chase.
Well, I tried.
Incredible.
That is going to do it for us today. Thank you to Scoreboard for having us out here.
Hey, as we do all the shows to our guys out there, if you are struggling, know that you get to reach out to somebody on your cell phone. You can call or text 988. Somebody's always there. We have help for you at the Chasing Big Joe Show on our website. Go there. You can sign up for Unity Psychiatric Care. More than anything else, I need you here. I tell you all the time that I need to be able to go to your comeback party, and that's possible by you making the call, telling somebody what you're going through. I need you here. We need you here. Our world is a better place because you are here. And my God, you got so much to be grateful for. Please understand that. Please find the gratitude in your life. You're a big part of our life. We want you there. Know that we love you, more importantly, more than anything else in this world. God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. We're back at it tomorrow at noon right here on 102.5 The Game.